Hello and welcome, truth seekers, to yet another episode of the Space City X-Files. I'm your navigator today, Rick, as you know, here to enlighten your curious minds and fuel your thirst for the unsolvable. Glad to be back with you today. Glad to be here wrapping up Secret Society Month. I hope you enjoyed it. Just a little bit of a forewarning. I'm a little bit under the weather, so if I sound nasally or if I sound like crap, I'm sorry. Just bear with me. This will be the last time you hear me like this. The show must go on, though. You know what I mean? I got to put this out for you. So with that being said, let's continue. Today, we embark on a journey that takes us far away from the twinkling stars and unexplored galaxies, descending into the depths of Earth's own peculiarities, where the line between fact and fiction is often blurred and lost in the dense undergrowth of secrets and speculation. In this episode, we're going to traverse the quiet corners of Monterio, California. Hidden beneath the towering ancient redwoods lies a 2,700-acre campground, a place of tranquility, a retreat from the everyday world, a sanctuary known to a select few as the Bohemian Grove. Now you might be wondering, why are we interested in a mere campground, Rick? Well, my dear listeners, this isn't just a regular camping site. No, this is the gathering place for some of America's most exclusive and influential men in the world, the Bohemian Club. Now, the Bohemian Club isn't your run-of-the-mill social club. It's not a place for casual Friday night poker or Sunday brunch. This club, my friends, is the domain of the powerful and the elite. Its member list boasts names that have shaped the course of history: former presidents, Fortune 500 CEOs, renowned artists, and even the noble literaries. It's an institution that thrives on exclusivity, on camaraderie, among men who steer the course of global events. What happens when such influential personalities congregate for 2 weeks every summer? Are they simply relishing the serenity of the redwoods, far from the frenzy of the political and corporate world? Or is there something more? Something that pricks the edges of our understanding of society? Something that sends ripples of unease down the spine of every conspiracy realist out there? This is what we're going to explore today. The allure of the Bohemian Grove, the mystery surrounding its rituals, the whispered tales of shadowy deals and super-rapituous handshakes that supposedly shape the world. We're stepping away from the beaten path, diving into a world woven with whispers of power, secrecy, and perhaps a dash of the supernatural. We'll try to unravel the history of this secluded gathering spot, touch upon the peculiar practices that raise eyebrows and quicken heartbeats, and delve into the heart of the myriad of conspiracy theories that surround the Bohemian Grove. So sit tight, open up your third eye, and prepare for a journey like no other. This is Space City X-Files, episode 35, The Bohemian Grove. Let's go. Before we continue with our investigation into this secret society, we'd like to take a moment to express our gratitude to all our listeners. At Space City X-Files, we strive to provide the best possible experience by keeping our episodes free of commercials and ads. We rely on your support to help us grow and reach more people who share our passion for uncovering the mysteries of the unknown. If you enjoyed today's episode, we kindly request that you take a few minutes to leave us a review on the platform you're listening on. Your feedback is invaluable in spreading awareness about the show and attracting those new listeners. Additionally, if you would like to make a monetary contribution to support the program, you can visit our website and click on the Support Us tab. Every donation we receive goes directly towards enhancing the quality of our content. We greatly appreciate your consideration and ongoing support. Your involvement ensures that we can continue to deliver thought-provoking episodes like today's over the mystery of the Bohemian Grove. Retreat? or celebration of the Dark Lord? We'll find out. Thank you for being a part of Space City X-Files. We look forward to bringing you more captivating content in the near future. This will conclude today's announcements. Alright, the story of the Bohemian Grove begins, as all good stories do, in a time far removed from our own. The year was 1872. In the heart of San Francisco, a group of journalists, artists, and intellectuals, I forgot how to talk, came together, united by a shared love of arts and literature, to form the Bohemian Club. This was a time when the idea of bohemianism was gaining traction, an unconventional lifestyle often associated with artists and writers, characterized by a disdain for material wealth and a love for intellectual pursuits. Now, over time, the club grew in prestige and influence, drawing in members who were far removed from the original bohemian ethos. The journalists and artists were joined and gradually outnumbered by a powerful cadre of businessmen, industrialists, and politicians. Despite this change, the Bohemian Club retained its original motto, "Weaving spiders, come not here," a line taken from Shakespeare's A Midnight Summer's Dream. And this suggests that business and networking should be left outside the club's domain. This kind of sounds a whole lot how the Illuminati clashed with the Freemasonry. Interesting. It was not until 1878 that the Bohemian Club began its annual summer retreat to the Bohemian Grove, a tradition that continues to this very day. The first such retreat was, in fact, a midsummer hijinks party. That's what they called it. In the early days, it was more of a glorified camping trip, a chance to enjoy nature let loose, and momentarily step away from the pressures of the professional world. We all want that, right? But as the Bohemian Club's membership evolved, so too did the nature of these summer gatherings. The simple campgrounds in the redwood of Monterio began to see the construction of elaborate, semi-permanent campsites equipped with all the comforts one would expect of such influential men. Things were changing. Today, the Bohemian Grove stands as a symbol of power and exclusivity, a secluded sanctuary known only to a select few. The attendees of the annual retreat have been responsible for some of the most significant decisions of the past century. Yet, they gather not in boardrooms or political offices, but beneath the shadowy canopy of the redwoods, far away from the public eye. And so, the Bohemian Grove continues to straddle the boundary between reality and fiction, between the physical world of powerful men in suits and the imagined world of shadowy figures shaping global events, pulling strings from the seclusion of a forest. But as we delve deeper, as we peer beyond the curtain of leaves into the heart of the grove, we find ourselves faced with facts and events that are indeed stranger than fiction. As we continue our journey through the Bohemian Grove, we stumble upon peculiarities and oddities that feed the beast of curiosity and intrigue that awakens inside of us. Let's start with the most curious event at the Grove, a little something called the cremation of care ceremony. This theatrical production, presented as the opening event of the summer gathering, is truly a spectacle to behold. Now, if one were allowed to behold it, that is. Picture this. A procession of robed men, their faces obscured by hoods, bearing an effigy they call dull care. This effigy represents all the worldly concerns and business-related anxieties the attendees wish to shed during their retreat. They make their way to the edge of a small artificial lake before an enormous statue of an owl. Some would say this represents the owl of Minerva, but this owl stands a mighty 40 feet tall. In the eerie glow of torchlight against the backdrop of redwoods, dull care is set afire and sacrificed, symbolizing the abandonment of care. I'd like to point out that this same ritual that they did here is almost an exact replica of what some do in different forms of magic. You know? Just wanted to point that out. Seems a bit melodramatic though, doesn't it? But this is just the beginning of the Grove's oddities. Remember the club's motto, "Weaving spiders, come not here"? It suggests that business and politics are to be left at the door. Don't bring that around here, they say. Yet, the Bohemian Grove's guest list reads like a veritable who's who of America power brokers, many of whom have held the fate of the nations and indeed the world in their hands. So why create the list that way? Why get so far away from the original free thinkers that the group was established on? The contradictions don't stop there. Over the years, the Grove has hosted gatherings that have far-reaching implications. It was here that the initial planning for the Manhattan Project took place. If you just seen the Oppenheimer movie, then that came from this, leading to the creation of the atomic bomb, which would eventually take the lives of hundreds of thousands. And in 1982, Richard Nixon and Ronald Reagan were famously photographed together at the Grove, just before Reagan went on to win the Republican nomination for president. From a secluded retreat with a no business talk rule, the Grove seems to have transformed into a backdrop for major historical events. Isn't it a bit curious how a place that demands the abandonment of care seems to carry the weight of the world on its shoulders? And the peculiarities don't end there. With its strict men-only policy, many question the implications of such influential figures gathering in a setting that excludes half of the world's population. And let's not forget the tales of revelry, hedonism, and secrecy that only add fuel to the fire of mystery and speculation surrounding this place. These strange facts serve as a prelude to many conspiracy theories that orbit the Grove, much like satellites around the planet of power and secrecy. But we'll delve into the realm of shadows and whispers in our next segment. Moving beyond the mainstream narratives, the clandestine meetings at the Bohemian Grove have sparked theories of an even darker nature. Now, some conspiracy theorists insist that the happenings within the Grove are not merely business deals or casual retreats, but rather a concentrated effort to establish a new world order. Now, if you've ever watched the InfoWars video that Alex Jones posted, where he infiltrated this place and showed what happens during this cremation of care ritual, then I'm sure you understand how strange it looks when these world leaders, these rulers, these rich men gather and take place in this. Can't help but think it's a little strange. Proponents of these theories believe that the global elites covening at the Grove are planning for world domination, using their extensive influence and resources to control political, economic, and social systems across the globe. Now, this has not been the only place that's been accused or has faced those accusations. If you've been following along with us for the last few episodes, I'm sure you've heard a lot about that. But anyways, this view is fueled by the Grove's secret nature. It's high profile, and its high profile list powerful individuals known already to attend this annual retreat. Another theory takes a turn towards science fiction, suggesting that the Bohemian Grove is a meeting ground for extraterrestrial beings, disguising themselves as human power figures. Now, this one here ties into a little bit of the reptilian theory or belief. We're going to do an episode about that one in the future, so if you don't know about it, hang tight. That's coming up. While lacking tangible evidence, this theory adds an intriguing twist to the mystery surrounding the Grove, tapping into popular culture's fascination with the unknown and the alien, especially now. Yet, others propose that the Grove serves as a playground for time travel experiments. They claim the top minds in the world gather in secrecy, manipulating the fabric of time itself. Now, this theory, wild as it may sound, has been fueled by occasional technological leaps and breakthroughs that seem to have come out of the blue. Believe it or not, there are also theories suggesting that the Bohemian Grove is the site of mind control experiments, drawing parallels to projects like the CIA's MK Ultra. A theorist proposed that influential figures are brainwashing each other during these secretive gatherings, aiming to establish a unified front for their plans of global control. Another theory that follows around many groups of powerful secret organizations is that their retreats are not as innocent as they make out. Now, proponents of this theory claim that just because women aren't allowed to join the club doesn't mean that they aren't there. Now, allegedly, the rich and powerful come here to quench a perverse desire at the expense of these poor women and children trafficked there against their will. I don't think that we need to go too far into this, because we've mentioned in the previous episode, the adrenochrome episode, that there's already been high-profile people arrested. Now, quick update: if you've seen what came out just a few days ago, now a judge in the Jeffrey Epstein case just said that they're gonna unlock some formerly sealed documents, and now 170 more names who were involved or included on his flight log who visited his island are going to be released. Now, didn't I tell you last time that there's going to be some fireworks soon about people who were involved with Jeffrey Epstein? Stay tuned for that one. And that ties into this too. And like I said, I don't think we need to go too far into that. We want to stay focused on Bohemian Grove, But think Epstein Island. Think about Epstein Island. This place, or the theories around this place are very similar to Epstein Island, only they're meeting in the woods instead of a private island. Though the only case I could find that could possibly be considered something concrete to back up this claim was a lawsuit called Greenwald versus the Bohemian Club. Now, Greenwald, who was an employee as a line cook at the club, has made some serious allegations of sexual harassment and discrimination. Now, she claimed that Albert Bowen, the club's director of human resources, made severe inappropriate sexual advances towards her and invaded her privacy multiple times in a disturbing way. This started when she was living with him for a few months due to the club's failure to cover her relocation expenses. So obviously they were flying these, not just her, I'm sure there were others, just flying them in from other locations around the world, around the country. So come stay with me until you get on your feet. Things got worse when she suffered a back injury at work. Now, apparently, another club employee intentionally rammed a serving cart into her back, which resulted in the injury. When she reported the incident, it seemed like the club didn't take any disciplinary action against the one that committed the assault, really. But wait, there's more. After her injury, her supervisor, Richard Brandenburg, didn't accommodate her physical limitations at work, which appears to be a violation of her rights as an injured employee. Now, despite her complaints to management about the sexual advances and harassment, it seems nothing was done at all to address these issues. It all came to a head when Brandenburg allegedly ordered her to lift a heavy tray that caused a subsequent back injury. She claims that the club failed to accommodate her needs following this incident, which led to her leaving her position. Shortly after, she filed complaints for sexual harassment and employment discrimination, which kicked off a legal battle against the club. Alright. It's a pretty serious case, and it makes you wonder what else might be going on behind the scenes of the Bohemian Club. So much secrecy, so much shadowy nonsense. How could anyone be sure? Perhaps this is the only person that ever had the stones to come clean, you know? But who knows what happened? I tried to find more of what happened from that case. I could find nothing. So either it was settled out of court or somebody made her go away. I don't know. Last but certainly not least, some theorists believe that the Bohemian Grove is an avenue for the recruitment of the Illuminati, the fabled secret society thought to be pulling the strings of global events. If you've been following along, you're well aware of the shadowy work that the Illuminati has done through the ages. Now think about it. What was the main goal of the Illuminati when they were first getting started? Do you remember? Remember what they were doing? What were they admonished to do? What did the higher-ups tell the initiates? In case you forgot, let me tell you. Well, to put it simply, they were told to socialize. Go mingle. Go hang around with your friends. Get introduced to new crowds. Join other clubs. And what better place to do that than the Bohemian Grove? A meeting place for such powerful people that control the finances of the world, that control just the mechanics of everything, the day-to-day life, the stock markets. The inclusion of various influential figures here and the heavy veil of secrecy make the Grove a perfect candidate for such theories. Now, each of these theories, whether believable or outrageous, that's up for you to decide, alright? Like we told you last time, we're not here to sway you. We're just here to give you the facts. Over this past couple of weeks, and as we've been doing Secret Society Month, we've been building a precedent that these things are going on. We've laid out multiple different layers of facts now for you to have and decide and go over on your own and look further into it. And once you do that, I think you'll be able to come up with a pretty clear understanding and picture. Anyways, but they all point to the same underlying fact. The Bohemian Grove, with its secretive nature and powerful guest list, it's a fertile ground for speculation and conspiracy. Why the secrecy? That's what everybody asks. Yet without concrete evidence, these theories remain lodged in the realm of conjecture, adding to the allure of enigma of the secret elite club. In our final segment, we'll step back from these intricate webs of theories and conjecture and draw our own conclusion about the enigma that is the Bohemian Grove. Alright folks, as we near the end of our journey into the enigmatic labyrinth that is the Bohemian Grove, let's take a step back and reflect on what we've uncovered. We delved into the club's history and origins, discovering a group of creative elites seeking a haven of solitude among the redwoods. We brought to light some of the strange facts and odd practices that shroud the grove in mystery, from the infamous owl statue to the intriguing cremation of care ceremony. We then ventured into the shadows of conspiracy theories surrounding the club, touching on notions of Illuminati connections, New World Order planning, and even potential involvement in the Manhattan Project. Then we've looked at the alarming case of sexual harassment and discrimination within the Bohemian Club itself. So now we know that what people think about this place, or the ideas they had in their head, this is proof that something like that happened. Tammy Greenwald laid out serious accusations against several club members. Greenwald's claims are a sobering reminder that behind the veil of secrecy may lurk unchecked abuses of power. So, where does that leave us? Well, in my personal opinion, something isn't quite right about the Bohemian Grove. It's not just about the secret satanic rituals, or whatever kind of rituals they are, or the powerful members planning God knows what, or doing God knows what. It's about the persistent allegations of misconduct and the disturbing disregard for human dignity that have been reported over the years. All you have to do is do a tad bit of research on this. Now, for our short episodes, there's no way that we can include all the pertinent information. So if this intrigues you in any way, check it out for yourself. Go to YouTube and just type in Bohemian Grove, and there's going to be countless podcasters or investigators that are going to tell you, they'll tell you all you can handle, basically. The secrecy surrounding the clubs allows for these issues to be swept under the rug. That's the main problem with these secret societies. Nobody really cares. Nobody really cares if somebody wants to meet in secrecy. Who cares? But it's when those people are involved in politics. It's when those people are involved in corporate organizations, when they're controlling money flow, when they're controlling the market, when they're involved in big real estate deals. That's when it becomes a problem. And then when people want to know what they do there, they're shunned away, shooed away, get out of here. Don't be looking at us. Why the secrecy? The question remains. So, these elaborate rituals and ceremonies, and the alleged policy-making decisions that we mentioned a while ago, these all divert our attention from the heart of the issue. The unchecked powerful dynamics that can breed harmful behaviors with nobody there to regulate it, especially when you have such influential men there. That's where the problems start. Secrecy breeds suspicion, and with good reason. While the exact degree of truth behind the conspiracy theories remain unclear, there's an undeniable, unsettling pattern of misconduct that cannot be ignored. As we conclude this episode, I want you to remember that every theory we've discussed, every fact we've unearthed, and every story we've delved into serve as pieces of a much larger puzzle. They shed light on an organization that for over a century has operated largely in the shadows, unscrutinized by the public eye. But transparency is the key to accountability. Only by exposing the facts and questioning the narratives can we hope to understand what truly transpires behind the Grove's iron gates. Well, that's going to wrap up today's episode. It's going to wrap up Secret Society Month. I hope you all enjoyed it. I want to thank you all so very much for joining me on this journey for the last few weeks. especially on this journey into the shadows of the Grove. We're going to change gears. I know you probably had your fill of of conspiracy and secret society, so don't worry. Next week, we're going to switch gears. We're going to have something special for you. All right. As always, though, if you enjoyed today's episode and you want to share your thoughts with us, please feel free to reach out to me on social media where the party continues. Or you can send me that email. Send it to info@spacecityxfiles.com. I guarantee you I'll get back to you. I will reply. I won't leave you hanging. I would love to hear from you. I appreciate the fact that you share your thoughts with me. Now, before we conclude, also, just a quick reminder, please take a few moments at the conclusion to leave us a written review. If you can't do the written review, I know some platforms don't allow that. I think it's Spotify and some other ones. That's okay. If you can't leave a written review, just hit a thumbs up or leave a 5-star rating. And if you can't do none of those, our episode's going to be posted on Facebook. Just go to Facebook or Twitter. Both, they'll be there on both. Just go there and hit share and just share it to your feed. That's enough. That means the world right there. You don't understand how much that will do for us in bringing us new listeners, putting us in front of larger crowds. I'm sure, as you know, I've said it plenty of times that these social media sites are algorithmic in nature. So, how many times they see people interacting with your page, searching your name, clicking likes and sharing. That's what tells the computer to say, okay, we need to give this person more impressions, or we need to put them over here, put them visible in this category, visible in that category. You know what I mean? It just means the world to us. Thank you so much. Quick reminder. Also, I'd give you a reminder again that the products are still up on the website. Thank you again for the surge of people buying and sharing. And I want to shout out to Jason. Thank you very much just for sharing the product on your page and passing it along like you did. We've got a lot of calls from you, and they all, a lot of calls because of you, and they all mentioned your name. So I got something special for you coming up. I just want to give you a shout out. Thank you so much. I hope you all enjoyed this episode. I really appreciate you being here. And like I said, next week we're going to change gears. We're going to go back to probably going to do another alien episode, extraterrestrial episode. It's been a while since we've done one of those, but I don't know, I have to look through the list and see what we got. If you got any recommendations of what you would like to hear us cover, you can send us that in the email also. We'd love to get your feedback on that, and most definitely we'll put it in the queue for sure. Or if it's interesting enough, we'll put it up front and center. You know what I mean? We want you to be interested. We want to know what you're interested in, because that's what we want to be interested in. We want to present that for you. You know what I mean? Since we're already doing the investigation and the research, if you got an interesting topic, send it on over to us. We'll get on that. But like I said, we'll be back next week with another thought-provoking episode, and of course, we hope you'll join us. Until then, until we meet again, this is Rick on behalf of the Space City X Files. We love you. Keep questioning, keep listening, and keep exploring. See you next week.
Thank you for listening to Space City X Files. Goodbye.